the idea of, virtualizing, fractional resourcing, using third parties effectively when, maybe some of the people listening have already gotten to the point where they had to let people go, and now they're shorthanded, right? So talk a little bit about some effective strategies for, that situation.
Right. So it's in essence, I mean, we've even done some of it internally, but we offer help in that area, which is, I don't want to turn this into a commercial, but
Right.
we really don't. TechScape typically hasn't been the body shop type where
Mhm.
we'll just have consultants come, rent a tech,
Mhm.
and they just come out and fix your mouse and then bill them by the hour. Not typically, but what we have done is we've been leveraged to be additional hands for firms who have shrunk their IT staff. So we'll supplement, on a retainer, as on a regularly scheduled, very sort of disciplined schedule with a consistent FTE from TechScape. So in essence, being an extension of their team. So I would recommend to your audience to, number one, if you're shorthanded right now, using companies like, obviously, like TechScape, Pivot Point, going into Upwork, and getting
Mhm.
identifying the task or identifying the set of tasks or the area of your business that really needs attention, and then building a program out of it. Break it down into projects. So those
Mhm.
initiatives into these micro projects, and then really just finding a way to delegate to contractor, and negotiate. Always negotiate the hourly rates. I'm happy to negotiate with anyone,
Mhm.
depending on the skill set that you're going to need of the engineer or the person who's going to help you. I think that overall, as strategically, you can have that controlled fixed cost. You can set your budget, come in and out, keep productivity high, get what you need done, um, and
Yeah.
not have to overburden yourself with, because as managers, I think sometimes I tend to feel like I have to do everything, right? I have to get involved and do everything. But breaking those pieces up is only going to take one thing: understand understand the project or the problem to the best of your ability. That way, when you deal when you propose it to a contractor, you have a good basic understanding. And I know that sounds a little hooky, but I had to kick off a project, a database, a database. I'll admit it. I had to run reports to run commissions for my sales
Mhm.
team. Okay,
Mhm.
and I have this database in Azure that holds effectively all my billings and
Mhm.
everything that I needed to make it so. I was going to go in. We're part of a network of partners throughout the country, so I have access to other application developers, IT, folks, and what have you, peers. And so I was going to go into the pool and try to contract for this one job that I need. I don't have the skill set in house.
Mhm.
I don't have an in-house SQL guy. The funny thing is that before I could even approach it, um, I needed to spend a couple of weekends learning and understanding, um, both the application that I wanted to render the reports, and get a baseline understanding of the SQL database that I'm going to be tagging. So understanding how I'm going to connect to it, understanding get commands, just understanding enough to be dangerous. And then I was able to sort of speak intelligently to the contractor. So I think that part of the overall is, yes, fill in the gap. Identify your problems, fill in the gaps with contractors, negotiate your rates, always negotiate your rates, but understand enough to be not be bulk, not be
Bullshit.
told one thing for the bullshit.
You can use that word.
Yeah,
I think most of the people have heard it once or twice before.
once or twice, but not during this call. This is the
All right.
sanitized version.
So something you said I think is really, really powerful there, and I want to just double down on it, is you said something which I really loved, which is when you look at someone's job, it's a series of projects. And it's hard to outsource a job, but it's not hard to outsource projects with specific, achievable
Outcomes.
objectives.
Mhm.
Yeah, outcomes, good word. So what I would suggest is that, if you've got a job that used to be done somebody, what are the 3 or 4 outcomes that you were looking for? What are the 3 projects that need to be done? So as an example, if you lost somebody that was heading up your information security, you need your risk assessment updated. You need to conduct a gap assessment. You need a gap remediation plan. You need a project manager to make sure that project gets executed, right? Those are very easily outsourced. Outsourcing a job is difficult. Outsourcing discrete projects isn't.